So here we are at this hive. Let me explain a little bit about what's been going on. So this is one of the original hives we brought in the spring, and I ended up only splitting it once. So we've never added another level. But in the front, there doesn't seem to be the activity you'd expect. And my worry is that when we split it, we may have taken the queen, or perhaps the queen perished for some reason. And so what I'm doing now is I'm just going in to have a look and see if in fact we do have a queen. So one of the things we like to do when we start is to take the smoke and give them a little bit of smoke inside so that they can start to wonder what's going on. And then we close it up again so that they have more time to sort of contemplate. This little guy doesn't like me, but if we can do some smoke, hopefully we'll just give them a second or two. So the goal then is to look and see if we have what's called cap brood, because if we have cap brood, we don't have to find the queen. I never do that. I never look for that because that can be, difficult. You could hurt the queen. So the idea is there a way we can go in and make sure this hive is okay? Is there anything we can do to help them? And if they're not okay, the question always comes up, what do we do ethically? Do we try to help them? Or do we just leave them and let nature sort of do its thing? So let me go in now and do a little more smoke. We have our thymol strips. That's what you're seeing. These are thymol strips from thyme or thyme, and they are supposed to come off in about 2 weeks. And let's see what we find here. So let me just go in, and before we shake up a lot of this, let's just have a look and see what we have here. So here we have straight up honey and nectar. And I'll just go put a little bit on here so we can keep them relaxed. Let's see what we find here. Okay, we have again honey and nectar. Now, if there's nothing on this one, we're going to be a little concerned because it may mean that we don't have a queen. And sure enough, we have no eggs, we have no brood. Yeah, we appear to be queenless. So to make sure, I'll go through the rest, but it's not looking great here. We move this over. Have a look here. Same issue, we have honey. You can see we have some nectar and pollen, but again, there are no bees. Sorry, there's no queen. So clearly this is a queenless hive. And so I'm not really sure at this moment what we're going to do. So here I'm going to put this one back, just have a quick look. And you can see how the bees are sort of there, but they're a bit lackluster. That's full of nectar, and there's some pollen, but they generally don't bring pollen back because they have no queen to deal with. There's no babies because they have no queen. So I guess the issue is, what are we going to do about it? Because we do have quite a number of bees here. But the problem is again, somehow in the translation of splitting the hive, we actually lost the queen. The queen either died on their own or went on a flight and somehow didn't do well on that flight. So one of the things we may think of doing is taking now it's pretty late for that, to take a hive, or take a frame from a hive that may have eggs in it, but it's pretty late in the season. So I'm just going to pause this video now, and I'll return when I figure out what I'm going to do. So this is a hive we're going to look at to see if we can get a frame from the hive that has brood and eggs in it, and we're going to try to do what's a very, very late split, and just want to make sure we don't harm this hive in order to help the other one. So put a bit of smoke on there, and we'll open it up and see what we have as far as bees and queens go. Just leave it like that for a moment. Again, the smoke is, now I see some ants in here, which we don't usually see. That's not a great sign. Let's first see what's going on as far as this hive, and do we have, in fact, a frame that we can borrow, if you will. Not that one. That may be a good one to take out, just to give us a little bit of room here. These bees are quite happy today, even though I'm in their world. They are busy here with pollen and nectar. Same there. Now there's a full section of eggs and cap brood. You can see all the cap brood on there, and again you can see it here, the cap brood and the bees. We will put that one back down gently. A little more smoke. Full of cap brood. You can see that they are about to really have some fun. And we will put that back down very gently. And I don't think we're going to introduce, we're going to do anything as far as taking a frame here, because I don't want to risk this hive. It's my camera overheated and shut out, so this is how I ended up taking care of it. I simply put the hive without the queen on top of the hive that had a queen. Originally I had split the two, so they're now reunited back home, doing incredibly well. that's the end of my story. Talk soon. Have an amazing week. This is Henry from the Wildflower Bee Farm.